Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Babi. Welcome to part 2 of the Endless Legend tutorial. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the military, missions, and minor factions. Now you might wonder what minor factions are, but I'm going to start out with that. Over here is a minor faction. Now minor factions can get you all kinds of benefits, but they might also try and get you. And they might do that by sending off units. Now, you're not going to notice too much trouble if you put the difficulty for the minor factions on normal or even easy. But if it's on the higher difficulty, you might notice some trouble. Anyway, because we are the Vaulters, we start out with a particular technology. Do keep in mind that you don't get... Oh, never mind. I was mistaken. Some factions start out with language square, which is a particular technology. We are going to invest in that particular technology because we do want to interact with minor factions. Now, this will enable you to parlay or bribe certain minor factions, which will give you the boost of the minor factions within your territory instantly. But as we still cannot do that at the moment, we are going to take a little look at our first quest. Now over here, the little goblet over here, if you click there, you see the list of quests. Now over here are the complete quests, the field quests, and the current quests. This is the only one that is really interesting. Now, over here we got a faction quests. This is a line of quests that you will have to follow in order to kind of fulfill the story of your quest. It kind of gives you a direction, gives you little bonuses that suit your empire, your particular faction, and it is ideal to follow this if you're a new player. I also do recommend this if you have played for a while. Now, over here it shows our objectives. In a region that belongs to your empire, pacify at least one village of a minor faction, then assimilate them. So, it's a good thing we went over minor factions. Now, over here it shows you a reward, which is titanium. Titanium is a strategic resource. It's not really important what it is at this time, as we are going to go more in depth about that later on. Now, as you might have noticed, this minor faction is not in our particular region. So, we are going to take a little look, scout the area and see if we have a minor faction. I do think that you have always at least one minor faction in your region. It kind of depends on the size of your region and it's randomly generated. So let's look at this direction. I do not see a minor faction, but we can go and explore these temples, and there are also some ruins. Now, there's nothing more left to do this turn, so let's end the turn. There you go, and that was the first turn, or the second turn, I'm sorry. Let's go and check out what this temple has in store for us, because temples often give you missions. And this one doesn't give us a mission, it gives us some dust. So temples provide you with resources and sometimes quests. And sometimes dust. It's just as simple as that. Now, we are currently researching language square. And as soon as that is done, we can actually interact with minor villagers. Or bribe them. It's just as easy as that. Let's end the turn again. I do not see a minor faction in the vicinity of the city. I have a feeling that they might be here. It's our only option left, so that makes sense, of course. Let's go through this forest. What a tedious process. But alas, we have found a new minor faction. These are the eyeless ones. The thing about minor factions is that you can assimilate them, and that will give you particular effects that affect your entirety of the nation. Also, the minor factions have a certain unit model, so this kind of represents the inhabitants of these villages. This one in particular is of the support class, and it is very easy to beat. but it can be very vital within your army. Then we get some assimilation effects. This is not instantly implemented as soon as we have assimilated this minor faction I'm going to show you later on. Yeah, let's show you that later on. So we're going to pacify these guys. And we can do that in 2 ways, or 3 actually. As I already went over that. You can do bribing. You can do it the diplomatic way, or you can show them the point of the sword and persuade them in that manner. I do recommend that more often than not, to be honest, as some quests can be very tedious. Anyway, let's go and interact with these guys, and gosh darn, we need another turn to be able to stand next to them. Oh, very nice. Our hero has leveled up. So, as you see right here, our hero has leveled up. And if we go and inspect this hero, and normally it would be on the equipment screen, which is all about weapons and whatnot, but now we put it on the skill tree, and it shows you particular stats. For the purpose of the tutorial, we are going to go for the extra movement, and we go more in depth about this later on. Let's go and apply that, and we have 1 more move to make per turn, which is lovely. Let's go and parlay with these guys. So what they want is us to bestow 10 wine and 10 blood crystal upon the unhappy Islas One's tribe. What we get is pacification. It shows you right here the reward. Sometimes they can give you dust as well, but in this case it is not so. So because it's going to take a while before they will be pacified if we do it the diplomatic way, we will not go and bribe because we don't have enough dust. We will go and attack. And I would like to go into the military system or aspect within the game. So you can do 2 or even 3 things. You can fight the fight yourself, which is obviously in manual mode. You can do spectator. The PC will fight out the game in the fighting mode, but you will be able to spectate, obviously. And you can put it on auto. Now, more often than not, I put it on auto because I honestly think that the combat system is not the strongest aspect of the game. It is at least better than in Civilization 5. You can choose to put an offensive stance, a defensive stance, or halt position. Now these all do 3 different things. Offensive obviously goes, you obviously go in offensive. Defensive is that you let your units stay put, and they will wait for the enemy to engage. And halt position is as soon as your units are within reach of a certain unit of the enemy, they will attack them. Anyway, we will put the stands obviously on offensive as we are the ones engaging the attack, and we are going to put the participation mode into manual. Let's go and yeah, we're ready for fight. So this is the battle map. It looks a bit different. Well, it looks very similar to the campaign map, but it is actually very different in that you don't have to wait a turn. Well, technically you do. I will explain as we go. Let us deploy our units first. Obviously, I'm going to put these guys in the front as we are offensive. But as you might have noticed, we've got these attributes over here. Now you can hover over these things and see what kind of stuff this does. But let us go through it. First, we see life. It's obviously your hit points, pretty generic. You have that in every single game. Sometimes it's called HP, sometimes it's just called life, as in this case. You've got attack, which is basically your accuracy. It is the probability of hitting one enemy. We've got initiative, which is the order that the units move in. So for instance, if this Eyeless one would have more initiative than Petrov Judith, our hero, that one would be stationed over here and would be able to move first, but as our initiative is higher than any of our opponents, we will be able to move first. Then we got speed, which is basically the amount of tiles that one unit can move within the battle scene. Then we got defense, Let me check the ability for the unit to defend itself. Yeah, kind of self-explanatory, really. And we got damage. Damage is the actual amount of damage you do, which is also quite obvious. But one would expect that to be attack, but attack is actually your accuracy or the probability to hit. Now, one important thing that I forgot is over here it says you what kind of unit this unit is. This one is a hero and is of the ranged class, so you do not have to be next to another enemy to attack. Now, every single class has got the edge over another class and a disadvantage over yet another class. Over here it shows capacities for the units. Now, these can either be passive or active. What I mean by that is that some of them are affecting battle, and some of them are affecting governors. So if you put your units into governing. As for here, long range, it is kind of all self-explanatory. You really have to go and check these yourself. I do not check them often because I, honestly, for the most part, I auto-resolve. Now, down here we've got some more buttons. Over here we can reset the setup of all the units. And, yeah, they will go back to the tiles they came from. But, of course, we want them in the first rank, so we're going to put them back again, and this is good. We can also choose to advance units towards the enemy, which is what I did manually over here. It would have been a lot easier if I would have just clicked on this button, and we can do the same, well, the opposite of that, just move towards the rear. And when you're ready with the deployment, choose ready, and obviously we're going to start the battle now. And what you do is you target certain enemies that you want to battle with, your characters. Of course, you can put a defensive stance within your enemy, or I mean your unit, and it will not execute commands, and it will try to defend itself. But as we are fighting an offensive battle, we do not really need to know that. Let's go and launch this attack. And this is going to be the first turn. In a battle or phase, a battle has 6 phases. You can end the battle prematurely, but you cannot fight on for more than 6 phases. What that means is if you take more than 6, if it takes more than 6 phases to take on the enemy or get annihilated yourself, the battle ends and it will be a draw. And you will obviously have to wait for the next turn to engage in battle again. Now, our units are ranged, so they are not experiencing too much trouble, and these are not particularly strong, which is why I put these guys over here. Otherwise, I probably would have put them in the rear, but yeah. You see over here, it's a support class, and it's got the healing ability, so it would be rather useful to have these guys in our army, as we do not have this class ourselves. But the battle is nearly done for, it seems. It probably takes one more phase, but that is completely alright. And they will probably engage the weakest enemy. And we actually defend some. But the damage is limited. It's not that important. And there we go. That's the finishing blow. And it's going through all the units again. So there you go, folks. That's the battle system. And we went through everything I wanted to discuss in this video. And right on time as well. Anyway, if you want to see more Ender's Legend videos, make sure to subscribe and follow my channel. Leave a like if you like the video, and I'll be seeing you guys soon again. Cheers!